Hi everyone, welcome back to Healthy with Nicole. In this video, I'm going to be talking about inflammation and weight gain. So many of you have followed me long enough to know that obviously I care about our gut health, I care about people with chronic diseases, and absolutely I care about losing weight. It is important for people that are overweight to lose weight, and not just because being overweight or obese is related to so many chronic diseases, but what we also know now is that being overweight also increases inflammation. So for a long time, it was thought that inflammation increases body weight. But what a newer study that came out in 2019 points to is that there actually been no proof of that. But what is suggested is that being overweight stimulates inflammatory reactions in the body, specifically coming from the fat cells. So this means that the more body fat you have, the more likely you are to have inflammation. And this can be measured by taking your C-reactive protein measurement when you get your labs done. So even people that have lost 10 pounds have showed a decrease in their CRP levels. So you can imagine for people that have much more than 10 pounds to lose, say 50 pounds or even 100 pounds, those levels are going to be much, much higher. And here comes the problem. We know that almost every chronic disease is related to high levels of inflammation in the body. That's essentially what is driving almost every chronic disease. And of course, that includes inflammatory bowel diseases. So a lot of the recommendations on reducing inflammation tend to recommend exercise and stress management, which is good, but also diets to include things like more nuts, seeds, grains, and legumes, calling them anti-inflammatory. So they might be an anti-inflammatory for some, but for people with inflammatory bowel diseases, a lot of times that can make the situation much worse. I know that when I had inflammatory bowel disease and colitis, I could not eat those foods. They would trigger a flare, they would cause pain, bleeding, bloating, you name it. So we have to look at how can we reduce inflammation for people that can't eat those foods, or even for people that can't exercise a lot. And that really comes down to the big picture of helping people to lose excess body weight. So the way that we do that, lots of ways to lose weight. Essentially, we want to increase your muscle mass so that your basal metabolic rate is up. We want to move more to increase your non-exercise energy expenditure. Also eat more protein so that you can increase your metabolism using the thermic effect of food. And, obviously we need to address the food. If we're eating a lot of high glycemic foods and we're not moving enough, we're going to have high glucose, which causes high insulin that stores body fat. So low insulin type of diet or a low glycemic diet works really well. I've seen a lot of people and a lot of my clients that have a lot of weight to lose do it very well on just a low glycemic index diet. So it doesn't need to be anything too extreme. But any way you do it, you're going to benefit from weight loss. And that is just a matter of, getting some of that excess fat off your body so that you have less inflammation, so less to deal with. So that may not be the only thing that needs to be addressed if you're dealing with, chronic diseases, especially things like ulcerative colitis. But we do know that having a lot of inflammation even triggers diabetes, cancer, heart disease, depression, all kinds of chronic diseases. So I think there's a lot of people that do need to take a look at this. Remember, we've got a population of about 75% overweight or obese individuals in America. So a lot of us have some work to do, and it's not a bad thing. I think that there's been kind of people taking the body positivity a little too far. While we accept people that are overweight, we don't want to stay overweight because it's going to increase your risk of disease. So for a better life, we need to get to a healthy body weight. Anyway, I have written a whole bunch more on this, and it's on my website at healthywithnicole.com. You can sign up for my newsletter to get updates when I send out newsletters, and you can use the link below to register for that. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up, comment below if you've seen an improvement in your CRP levels or general inflammation by losing weight. I would love to hear from you. And if you could subscribe, that would be great, and I will see you in the next video.